Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Daily Grind podcast. And in today's episode, I think something that no one's talking about is we're dealing with grief.
What is up, everybody?
Podcast, talking about bullshit and other things.
Like sadness. A lot of people aren't talking about this. People are talking about lack of jobs. But there's people that really miss being sociable. They're missing the fact that they can't go out to a bar. They're missing the fact that they can't go to concerts because that was where they got their socialness on. They went to a concert, they enjoyed the concert for what it is. Hanging out with like-minded people, hanging out with people that more than likely understand them and understand who they are as a person. Because we know when it comes to concerts, usually everybody's going there for one reason. They love the music and love the concerts for what it is. It brings a lot of people together, and it don't matter if you're black or white or Mexican or whatnot, you're there to have a great time. And I see this in like a music forum that I am on Facebook. A lot of people keep clamming for is because for some people, music is their therapy. It makes them feel good. Some people are turning to other alternatives like Discord, or maybe they're in a Facebook group that they can contact and chat with people, but they want to feel a part of something. And right now, most places on this planet are like, you can't go nowhere unless you're in Florida and Texas and New Zealand. I think those are the only places, and maybe China, that you can go out and congregate and do things. So they say it's the great recess. It says, like I said, a lot of people are dealing with grief. They're sad that they can't go to a concert. They're sad they can't go to whatever it is. Because there's people that used to go to football games every single week. They would go to baseball games every single week. Now you can't go to those things. It's bringing them sadness. And for a lot of people, they'll sit back and go, well, you know, my guy, it's better that you don't go nowhere. It's better that you stay home and do nothing. Really? You think so? You think it's better to stay your ass home and actually do nothing and be depressed? Because there's cabin fever. That's when you get locked up, shut down, and you can't go anywhere or do anything. And to be honest, that's not a healthy way to live. Living in your house, being scared. So it's like they're telling us, especially here in America, we're not going to be able to congregate or really do anything until at least July 4th, like the barbecues, the hangouts, the socialness. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And the reason why I say I don't believe that's going to happen, like we're going to have to wait till July 4th to actually go out and congregate, is because it's just what it is, you know? And they're saying nobody's going to be able to do normalcy, whatever normalcy is, until July 4th. Is it going to be that's the only day they're allowing the people to congregate and allowing the people to actually enjoy life? Because that's when Americans are going to be able to go out and do things again. And that's coming from Sleepy Joe Biden. That's coming from Joe Biden saying we're going to be able to congregate again on July 4th, so that means I can go see a friend with no issues. But I've been seeing friends left and right all the time. I've been going to my brother's house. I've been going to restaurants. I go work out, and I'm not gonna stop. It's just weird when I hear, like, my brother just recently came back from California, and he goes, you wouldn't believe how dead it is. He went to California, to I think it was Oceanside or San Diego or Chula Vista, somewhere in that general area, and he was like, it's weird. It's like going to a whole another country, because here in Florida, people are congregating, people are going out to the malls, people are going out and doing things. But when you see there, he goes, there was almost no traffic. There was no, like, all the shops were shut down, restaurants were shut down. It was hard to grab something to eat. It's like, well, how'd you get food? He goes, we can only eat at the restaurant in the hotel. And basically the hotel, when you order room service, usually they would knock on your door and give you the food. So he said basically they would knock on your door, you gotta wait like a minute or two, and then they'd basically give you your tray of food. Like, the guy would knock on your door, leave, and then you'd be able to pick up then you'd open the door and get your food. It's not like you could knock on the door, open the door, hey Billy, here's your sandwich. They don't do that. So I was just like, that's really odd. We can't be like this. We can't be this close. We have to be like this far apart, which is like 6 feet or 10 feet or 12 feet. And when it comes to grief, if you don't grieve about things, then because here's the thing with grief, that means you miss something. That's a human nature. That's a human emotion. Grief. It means you miss things. It means you miss doing things. And like I said, grief is a big part of human nature. It's a part of human life. You can grieve on not going to a concert. And people go, that's dumb. People don't realize how much music affects people's life. Certain people use music as a therapy session. They might be a depressive person. They put on that Pantera album or that Eminem album, and it changes their mood. It changes their life. It changes the way they think. Some of these people need that in their life. Some of these people go to shows and they're going, I'm going to see Metallica tonight. Mr. James Hetfield is my therapist for that 2 hours. And when you go home, here's the thing, I seen it on Facebook. The kid said, when you go home, the reason you feel so good about going home from a 2-hour concert, you were yelling, you were screaming, you might have been moshing, you might have been bumping into people, you might just randomly bump into somebody that ends up being your friend, or you might see somebody there that is dealing with the same problems you are, and you guys can connect on that riff, that doo-doo, 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 and you're like, and you just start thrashing because it's a riff that makes you feel good. And that's one thing a lot of people enjoy about concerts. I enjoy concerts. I love the camaraderie, like the brotherhood, the sisterhood that you have when you go to a concert. People who don't go to concerts or don't really listen to music, and there's a difference between I put music on in the car and it's background noise compared to somebody who picks up their phone and they go through their playlist and says, I have 10,000 songs, I'm going to put on Rammstein, or I'm going to put on him, or I'm going to put on Korn or something, and they listen to it. There's a difference between, I'm just going to put some headphones on and go to the gym and listen to whatever is on like the Hot 100 list, right? And you don't care what it is. Me as a music lover, I put on music because I love music. I get excited about music. That's why I have a reaction channel based around reacting to music. I have 2 years of just constantly uploading videos on that channel. I've been doing it since May of 2019, before the pandemic even started. I have like a couple thousand videos, probably like 600, 700 videos or something like that already. I got a little bit of an audience of 756 subscribers. I get about anywhere from 300 to anywhere from like 16 views up to 1,000 views, depending on the artist or music or whatever. But it's the reason I did that and made a reaction channel, not because, oh my god, reaction videos are the most hottest thing right now. No, it's because I love doing stuff with music. I love playing music. I love listening to music. I love reacting to music. I love talking about music because it's my passion. It's like somebody who's really into cars. They talk about all their car things because that's what they do. Oh, going to the car meet. I'm going to go get a K-swap for my Honda Civic. I'm going to get a Honda Civic with a VTEC engine. They talk about this stuff because that's what they're into. It's like the new nerdy ass dude talking about how he's gonna live stream on Twitch, how he's gonna use this camera instead of a web camera, and they talk about the gear that they're using because that's what they're into. But at the end of the day, people don't realize how important music is. Music, like Eminem says in one of his songs, it can alter moods and make you feel sad to happy. It can make you think of a time, an era. You listen to, let's say, Down with the Sickness by Disturbed, and it could bring you back to 19 '99 when that song was released, or you can listen to The Way I Am by Eminem, and you can go, I was feeling this certain way, and it somehow time travel, it makes you time travel to that certain era. So for the people on all these music forums that I'm a part of that are saying they're sad, they're depressed because music isn't around and live concerts aren't happening and concerts are being canceled left and right, I can see why they're grieving. I can see why they're more depressed than they actually have been. And there's articles that have been coming out lately saying people who go to metal concerts or people who go to concerts in general are more happy than the people who stay home and do nothing. Because when you go to these concerts, you're seeing friends that you might only see at concerts, and you're being able to congregate with thousands of people that are into the same things you are. So that brotherhood is how it is. It's like the artist who's up there, they love music just as much as you because they're kicking ass and playing that music, and they were fans just as once as you are, but now they're in this metal band or pop band or whatever it is. I don't care if you go to Mariah Carey or Britney Spears and that's all you do, you go to those shows, you realize it's the brotherhood, the sisterhood. When you go to a metal show, it's more of that. People all dress in the same kind of clothes. People really are wild. People really understand where you're coming from. If you're sad, you're lonely, you're depressed, that's where the metal shows are. And with that being said, let me know if you are feeling some sort of way. Like, even it could be sports related too, because I know sports fans are like fanatics. Like, I used to go to the WWE every time they came to town, or I used to go to the Jacksonville Jaguar games every time they play. And now because they don't play with crowds really, I don't go. Or I used to go to hockey games all the time. I used to go to hockey games with my friend all the time. We would go like 3-4 times a week. Even though they're allowing crowds and people to go, she just doesn't want to go because she doesn't feel safe. But at the end of the day, when I'm like, I'd go. She's like, yeah, there's too many people there. But she's saying she misses the fact that she goes to the games, because when she would go to the games, she would yell, she would curse at the referee, she would talk so much shit. It's not even funny. She'd be like, oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, he cracked that fucker. She would yell and get hype, just like I get hype at a metal concert. She gets hype sitting in her chair, drinking her brew, yelling and screaming at the referee and at the other players. And when she would go home, all that negativity was released out of her, and she would just go home feeling like, yeah, I'm great, I'm good. And then when she would start her day the next day, she would feel good about herself because she just had that like therapy session. So it's the same thing with me going to metal shows, and grief is a big part of life. So if you're not grieving right now, and you're just like, oh, I'm just living life, dog. I don't really go any place anyway. I don't really hang out with anybody anyway. That's weird. That's odd to me. I like to at least try to hang out with people, or at least try to make an effort to see people and do things. But a lot of people are like, nah, I'm good. I don't know. It's like, okay, you stay your ass home and you never leave, but your boy's going to go out and try to do things, you know. And they say if you're O positive, you're never going to get sick anyway. Ha ha, that's what I heard. But who knows? There's always different information for this so-called coronavirus. There's so much information about this coronavirus. It's not even funny. You hear one guy say this, you hear one guy say that, one guy saying this, one guy saying that, and at the end of the day, who really knows what is right and what is wrong and what is the truth? It's all fake bozo stuff. I don't know, but all I'm saying is, guys, I want to go out and try to at least congregate and hang out with friends again. I miss hanging out with my cool ass friends that we used to go to concerts all the time. Like I said, that was my therapy session. You know, there's been times during this fucking pandemic that I felt depressed. I felt sad. I felt kind of lonely, right? And I'm not gonna bullshit you say I've never felt that way in my life, because I fucking have. And that's why I try to make podcasts and just speak my mind to a certain degree. But overall, you gotta know, just like Joey Diaz, he's talking about on his podcast a lot lately, that he doesn't know when the pandemic is over if he's gonna go back 100% as a full-time hardcore comedian, like going out and touring the country and seeing different things, all whoop-de, or if he's just going to be like, I'm not going out anymore, because he sounds like he wants to retire, because he's like, I just want to stay out, hang out with my family, and that's it, and do the podcast. But for me, I understand where he's coming from, because he's like, when is we're gonna go out and do things? Because he's still doing tour or little shows at like this bar where he has like 300 people or 200 people or 40 people, whatever it is, and he only does like once a week. But he's still being able to go out and do stuff in that little area where he lives. And here in Jacksonville at the 1904 Club, they're still allowing people to go out and have fun and do things and enjoy concerts. Even if it's like 300 people or 200 people, whatever it is, people are still going there and having a great time. And that's what I like about Florida. At least they're open. At least they're allowing, at least trying to have people go out and do things. And they're not saying, well, we're locking down and we're not shutting down and we're not going to do this. No, they're like, hey, we're going to at least attempt to have shows. Even if it ain't the Metallicas, the Slayers, the Eminems, the Snoop Dogs of the world. It might be Billy's thrash band, and they're out there just tearing shit up. People are still going there to watch it. And this 1904 Club is actually having hip-hop there. They're having, they're turning their concert venue into like a nightclub sometimes, where people can come and dance, because they want people to be able to get the fuck out of their house and enjoy life. So with that being said, guys, that is another episode of the Daily Grind Podcast. I'm your host, Trevor, back with another podcast, baby. So we'll see you guys next time. Let me know if you miss anything during this pandemic, or is it just your boy? I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Now get that camera on my face, sucker.